Dark Deception. Dark Deception. The number one content on my channel. The number one content that got the most views, most likes, most subscribers, and started my channel up in the first place. So, I am back, and I plan to give you guys some great Dark Deception content here today, because today begins my Dark Deception Chapter 4 analysis. So sit back, relax, and let's start with the first level of Dark Deception Chapter 4. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Judah Culp, and JWC Vids is here to present to you the first episode of my Dark Deception Chapter 4 analysis. I'm so excited to be doing this. I know I said I'd be trying to upload twice a week, but it's looking like it's going to be once a week. So just keep that in mind, and you don't go into the comments and sass me being like, Judah, you said you do 2 videos a week. I thought I'd be able to, but I have plans. I'm a busy man, so I can only afford to upload 1 week. But that has not stopped me from uploading 1 a week. And today, I am going to start this Dark Deception Chapter 4 in-depth analysis video with the first level of the game, Torment Therapy. But before we get into this, I wanted to remind you guys to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any Dark Deception content from my channel. Now, let's begin our analysis of Torment Therapy. Oh, by the way, spoiler alert! If you do not want spoilers for Dark Deception Chapter 4, log off now and go watch it. But, if you have seen it, and you're ready to endure, let's begin. So, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the new power for this level. When we enter the portal, we see a soul shard trapped between two walls. We cannot get to it. None of our powers can get to it. Teleportation, you have failed us! Literally, doesn't teleportation supposed to do this? I have to write an angry letter to Vince. Give me a minute. I have a piece of paper right here. Gotta write an angry letter to Vince. Give me a second. Pencil. I'll just call it pencil, why not? Dear Vince, why do we need telekinesis? Shouldn't teleport go through wall? Okay, there we go. Angry lettering him. Hey, you don't mind taking this for me, will you? Okay, thanks. So, now that out of the way, so, Beer says, to get the shard, we need telekinesis, which allows shards to come to us. I think this power is broken. Me and Mayman have both agreed that the power needs to be nerfed, because its range is stupid, and its load time is dummy fast. It's like as fast as like Speed Boost. That's way too short. Like, really? So literally, like, you have an amount of range that telekinesis brings in. And as you upgrade it, the range gets bigger. The reload time is slower. The reload time is faster, sorry, my bad. It's just such a broken power-up. Like, it makes the first zone of Torment Therapy pretty easy, not gonna lie. Or at least that's what it looks like. Like, I mean, I haven't played Dark Deception, because I don't have the console for it. I don't have a PC for myself, so I can't really play it, sadly. But I will, but when it comes out on mobile, I will do a Let's Play of that. So yeah, look forward to that when that happens. That's the main power for this level. Let's move on. I think that the intro to this level is very good. So, you start outside of the hospital, and when you go in, you're going to find the Reaper nurses at the front desk. They're going to be, some are going to be dancing, some are going to be asking you if your shots are up to date, and one is at the front desk. There's even some gold watchers, having some tea in the back, like, fancy, at that House of Gucci. Pretty nice, So you walk up to the front desk, and, Reaper nurse at the front desk is on the phone. And when she gets off the phone, she talks about, oh yeah, you came here to be cleansed and stuff. So I'm going to take you back here. So as you go back there, you enter a room of dancing Reaper nurses, totally appropriate. And then she does a few tests on you. The first test, you stand on a scale and fire comes down. Nothing happens really here. And then you go into a room and she tells you to stand right there so she can take your blood. And you have to get out of the room before a bunch of needles impale you from every part of it. And then she puts you in another room where you have to speed boost through the door and then mash out of that too. By the way, you mash out of the doors from the needle room and this room. Now, here's what I'm unsure about. Maybe you can put this in the comments if I sincerely don't know. What is what is the danger in the room with the speed boost? Like after the needle, she puts you in another room. What's the danger there? Like, she'd have to put you in that thing, I guess. Like I'm kind of confused about that. So if anyone has the answer to that, just put that in the comments. Or maybe you could just DM me on Discord. Anyways. After you get out of that room, the nurse chases you down the hall, so you run! And then when you run, door closes on you, and the nurse says, "You don't desire salvation, you just want to get away with your and stuff like that." And then, like, she vanishes and stuff like that, and, like, you learn that the nurses can cloak, / vanish, and become invisible and stuff. So you take an elevator down below, and that's where the first zone begins. As I mentioned before, the first zone is probably pretty easy because of telekinesis. 8-Bit Ryan did not see that coming because, like, he literally got a hold of telekinesis and, like, he didn't use it. He did the whole first zone without telekinesis, and that made it a whole lot harder for him. So, the only really trap in this one is the laser things. Like, there are these laser gates that go bzzz. So, like, you just wait for it. Or you just teleport through it. So, yeah, there's a lot of areas where you really just don't have to, like, turn around and get things again because, like, telekinesis just gives it to you. Like, that makes it so, like it gives the game, it gives you no point of having to turn around because telekinesis is just there. So, the nurses cloak when they're looking for you. You can't see them. You have to listen for them mostly. And when they see you, they uncloak and they start chasing you. And one of the fandom's predictions actually came true. They throw pills at you. It's not as bad as chickens throwing eggs, but it's pretty generic. Anyways, so those guys they're pretty fast. I'm pretty sure they can catch you even without speed boost. You can outrun them with speed boost, which contradicts my prediction about them being faster than your speed boost. But hey, at least they're mainly faster than you. Like, if they're not faster than your normal speed, they're very, very close to being there. But then again, you have primal fear, so it doesn't really matter. So you get through that zone. There's some secrets in the elevator, I'm pretty sure. But it's a pretty nice zone, pretty nice and polished. I like the look of that first zone. Once you get all of the soul shards in that area, which may take some time, actually, you then find a hallway, I think. Or an elevator. It's a hallway or an elevator, but I think it's a hallway. Sorry, I don't remember. May inform me later. And you find yourself out in like an outside part of the hospital, and two nurses jump off of ledges and chase you. So you primal fear those guys, teleport through a door or something like that, and then like you dash to and then you'll end up in a garage area holding an ambulance. So you're gonna teleport. You're gonna go on this platform that takes you up, and then you're gonna teleport onto that ambulance, and you will go into Zone 2, which I will talk about in this next clip. The zone begins with a big area full of Reaper nurses and the matron at the helm. Giant woman. Man, that's like type 3 diabetes right there. Anyways, while you're looking at that, Reaper nurse sneaks up behind you and gives you the and then knocks you out. When you wake up, you're in a cage, and Reaper nurse presses the lever, and walls begin to come down on you, and you literally do the same thing like you did in the intro of the level. Mash over the cage, run off. Then you're in an area where like you have to be careful. You have to be stealthy and use all your powers and stuff to get through the area, which I really like. It's one of my favorite parts of the level because it's one of the only parts of Chapter 4 that really forces you to use all the power-ups or you die. Like, to be unseen, you need to use all your powers. Most gamers I watched literally just primal feared everything and just ran away when they were spotted. But like, I saw like Angelo. If you guys know who that is, all you Dark Deception fans should know who that is. And if you don't, whatever. He actually did the whole thing, and I was amazed. I was like, whoa! He actually did that! Like, I was like, that's cool. And then you get to Zone 2, And this zone is tricky. Because, I mean, you still have telekinesis, but you have bigger areas full of buzzsaws. And the buzzsaws are stupid. Because they're literally like the spike traps, but they're faster, they come out faster, and they're more everywhere. So with teleportation, you're going to need to be more precise because you don't want to teleport to avoid one and then land on another one. And also, you got to be quick too. You got to save your powers. And like getting overwhelmed by Reaper Nurses and buzzsaws, like that's tricky. Like that can be tricky. Like I feel like Zone 2 can probably be rough. And then you have like small corridors with buzzsaws. You have no choice. And even telekinesis doesn't sometimes reach. So you have to actually like go and actually kind of do stuff in Zone 2, which is good. So that's pretty much Zone 2 once you get all the shards there. You go into the area where you did the stealth stuff I was talking about, and you grab the ring piece. Then you go back to that hospital ambulance thing, teleport on it, and make your way back. But something interferes with it. Quote from my good friend Mayman: "It's a car chase!" Okay, whatever. So while you're riding on this ambulance thing, more ambulances come up with Reaper Nurses, and there's also Reaper Nurses on the ground. And then Reaper Nurse hops on your ambulance and says, "You little scum. Now our boss, who's not as hospitable, is going to kill you." And every single gamer's just like, "Oh, okay." So you teleport from ambulance to ambulance, making sure you're not buzzsawed off by the matron, who's a giant woman running over cars with buzzsaws. And you like beat up, you like primal fear nurses that come up on you, and you grab their needles and you shove them and throw them into the boss. I don't know. I didn't really analyze the boss that well. And from there, once that fight's over, you just do that for a little bit, and then that fight's over. And then from there, you do an escape sequence. And from there, you go back to the first area around there, and you have to do a bunch of like Torment Therapy's escape sequence is one of my favorites because you have to go through and do this scene. Like, there's a scene, and there's like a hallway. It was shown in the trailer where there's these two nurses, and one of them like spins them at you. Like they work together and like spin them at you. And what you do is you teleport past that one, and you primal fear the first one. And like you really need to like use your primal fear and teleport and speed boost to get out of there, or you're going to get cornered. So like then like they chase you out of the hospital, and then like you have the ring piece and you get out, and that's the level. Like, I love that boss, and I love that escape sequence. Like, personally, in my opinion, Torment Therapy is my favorite level of Chapter 4. I'll explain why in, like, later ratings of the game. But now let's get into the characters and lore of the level. I think in terms of voice acting, the Reaper Nurses are some of the best characters in the game. Tara Strong did a really, really good job with the Reaper Nurses. Definitely her best role. Not even close. No other role was as good as that one. None. Mama Bear wasn't as good, and certainly Penny was significantly worse. But I just love the Reaper Nurses. I love their frenzy design. Like, the Reaper Nurses' frenzy design has to be, like, my favorite. Like, I just love that red. That red goes so well. Oh, it's so good. I also just really like how, like, the nurses are kind of like the right-hand men of Malik. So, now, let's talk about the lore of this level. So, we find some notes that Doug's wife was addicted to supplements. And that they made her more stable or whatever, and, like, he was getting mad about that. You also had, so pretty much the main hidden secret of that level is in Zone 2. And it pretty much reminds Doug of, like, how she was constantly getting prescription medicine and, like, being addicted to it. And, like, it was helping her with her problems. And it was making her mad. It was making him mad that she was taking them. So that's pretty interesting, right? Interesting, like, aspect on his wife. Also, it's said from E, who we don't know who yet. We know E will be explained in Chapter 5. Vince confirmed that. Anyone correct me if I'm wrong. And, from there... sorry, I'm trying to get my words here. I know, this used to happen a lot in my old videos. So E talks about how the nurses are kind to women and hate men. They literally hate men. Because, like, in like Zone 2, you see writings on the walls, and they say like men are weak and stuff like that. I don't remember what they said, really. I didn't really study as much intently about chapter 4 than the other chapters. But like they were like helping when E arrived. We know that E's a girl because when she arrived at the hospital, the nurses cared for her and like gave her tea and were hospitable. But they hate men. They hate men. People, Super Horror Bro like said like stuff like the Reaper nurses are souls of abused women, stuff like that, which would make sense. But you know, so like that's the main lore of the Reaper nurses. I know it's pretty interesting. I mean, like I could see the nurses representing Doug's the annoyance he had with his with the prescriptions, the doctor prescriptions, because like the nurses are women who are like all this stuff, and like and like the scene in the flashbacks of chapter 4 and all that. You also had that. So yeah, that's the main lore for the Reaper nurses. I might go more into description about that later, but like, because like chapter 4's been out for like a month or something like that. I'll probably go into more lore standpoints later on, so don't expect that to be too accurate, personally. But yeah, that wraps up Torment Therapy. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed this new Dark Deception content, then make sure you hit that like button and subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next video. Next time, we will talk about the Joy Joy Gang and our analysis of them. I will see you all then. Capiche?